first of all, win streak. I don't think we saw anything close to that last night, so we're already off to a better start. But let's take a look at the marketplace. So if you click on marketplace and then you click on, you can't see it, but right above my arrow right here, next to card sales, it says card rentals. So we click on card rentals and it takes us from the selling screen to the rental screen. So now, like you can isolate cards like by their edition, by their whether they're gold or not, by their rarity, by their what splinter they're in or element they're in. Like red is fire, green is earth, and then you can also do it by summoners or monsters. So so let's just take a look at summoners real quick, just because there's less of them. The most expensive card in the game to rent is this archmage, which is part of the reason for that is that there's not that many out there. There was only let's see, 87 in circulation, and they were all like randomly dropped to players who bought. It's like similar to like the chest that you buy for like that you could buy for like the quest to get extra cards in quest. It was like something like that, and they give out one every other day in that, and I was lucky enough to get one of those in the drop. I think I got one of the last 5 or 10, and as you can see, there's not that many for sale, and the one that is for sale is listed for the price of a nice car. I'm not saying someone's going to pay that, but it's the only one listed for sale because they're rare and people are renting them out for $5 a day, $7 a day. I mean, it's pretty interesting actually. So that's the high end of a summoner, right? So, and the more, there's a few summoners, these top ones specifically, that in certain situations they're almost like super critical, especially at the highest level where people are competing like to be in the best or the top 20. And as this game gets bigger, that intensity at the top is going to get stronger, and more cutthroat, and there's only a certain amount of these cards in existence, so, and even less as you move up different levels. There's way more at the level 1 or level 2 than there's ever going to be at a max level. So as more players start playing this game, the demand for some of these cards, especially the ones that are like really competitive at the highest level or at any level, that particular card can really have a lot higher demand. But on the flip side of that, there's a lot of cards that are undervalued, or cards that there was a lot of them made, and so they're not quite as popular. And since there's a lot of them made, the rental price is very low. And so here you have a chance to, we can take a look at like max level, because the max level is like what we were looking at with this guy. This guy, he only came at a max level. You didn't have to combine him. If you were lucky enough to win him, it was like winning 10 of him. So that was even more awesome. But now we can go to the bottom here, and you can see that 68 cents for a day. It's it seems kind of expensive, but really that's a bunch of cards combined. That's 115 cards combined, and that allows players to have all of their monsters at the highest level that they have them built up to, and that's what allows you to like start climbing. Now if you're only in level 3 or 4, you don't need something at level 8. But um, just because I was showing you that side of things, I wanted to show you like equal level as the archmage. But now let's kind of take a look at the lower level. So here at the lowest level, these cards are $7 a day. I would say that you don't need to get those at the lowest level. Like you're not going to win enough DEC necessarily to like make that back easily. Um, yeah, Kuster, that was really cool, right? It definitely was pretty cool. To the earlier you buy packs, the more airdrops you get, and some of those airdrops were pretty awesome airdrops. The dice packs as well had some really nice airdrops, and that's just an incentive for people to buy early. Yeah, they definitely hold some of the best cards for the airdrops, and so that's a pretty like I said, like they were as focused on building value for players and people. These guys were gamers their whole life. They worked on projects before this, and they under, they understood because of a lot of research and a lot of playing and a lot of working what worked for certain games, what didn't, and they tried to basically incorporate all the good stuff in all the games and keep out all the garbage that like held games back, with the thing in mind of constantly creating value for the players and not siphoning the value off for their own personal gain as a company. Like, sure, I'm sure they have nice collections, but like, they succeed when the game succeeds with collections, right? So it's a much cooler way for them to have approached it and not sold out along the way. And the airdrops that are coming every day for the next 330 days is another aspect of that. That's something where no matter when you come in now this year, you're still going to be part of that airdrop, which is for SPS and is for uh, governance tokens, but it's also going to be used um, for like the packs that are coming out, the Chaos Legion. It's going to be something like for every X amount of SPS staked, you're going to be eligible to buy one Chaos Legion pack pre-sale, and so that will reward the players who are committing to the game a little bit more. And if there's no packs left after the pre-sale, then the other players are just gonna have to buy them on the third party markets and stuff. So this is the more you put into this game, the more opportunity you have for it to give back, and it does give back. It gives back in rewards for every win, for the season rewards. I mean, those season rewards for even the lowest level are substantial. We can take a look at those in a second, but look at some of these summoners on the lower level. I guess maybe we should kind of look at level 2 because everyone gets started with like a bunch of level 1 cards. But so even at level 2, for a penny and a half a day, 2 pennies, this is half a penny a day for this card. The higher the number here means the more of them are on the market. So if there's only 2 on the market, it's probably not going to be the greatest price. And as you move up here, you know, this one's got 17 left, but it's 22 cents. Seems high, but that's a pretty good summoner. Um, but so this is a good place to look at instead of this side of things. You know, to You're working on your game. If you're in level 1, level 2, bronze, silver, you're working on your game. You're working on strategy. So you don't need all the best cards. You should be working on outthinking your opponents, and getting value cards like this is a way to work on that, and it's a way to get familiar with some of the cards that aren't necessarily the cool cards to play, but there's lots of spots to play the not cool cards to have or to use or to play that can mess up your opponent. And especially like as you understand your deck better and understand how things interact and work, you come up with strategies maybe that no one's even using yet. You know, there's so many layers to this game. There's so many, you know, offense to defense. Like, you know, sometimes I'll play all defense against a guy and beat him just because I know exactly likely the offense he's going to come at me with, and I set up my deck for that. You know, and so you don't always need a Yoda, you don't always need certain cards, and maybe you lose certain matches because of that, but you don't need to win every match. You're just building up, trying to get a little bit deeper, a little bit stronger, make a little more DEC, and then you can build your deck by renting more value cards. Let's go up to level 3 just to kind of see like prices at the bottom of these summoners for level 3. Level 3 is, you know, 15, 10 cents. This is, here's a great example. This was a reward card, and so there's a lot of them out there, and so uh, they're cheap to rent. They're really cheap to rent because there's a lot of them out there. So this is a dragon summoner that gives you a shield for all your players. I mean, that's a pretty cool starting thing. It's 4 mana instead of 3 for a lot, but I mean, for a value card, this would be one of the summoners I tell you to take a look at. Um, Release day, you know, I don't know exactly what they're overall going to do, and I've been listening very closely to all their AMAs. I have to finish listening to today's, but um, you know, the packs are going to come out and they're going to be pretty cheap. It looks like they're not going to be more than $5 each, and they're going to come with 5 cards. So to me, you would want to get some of the you want to be sure to get some pre-sale packs, because if they do sell out, and that part I don't know. I don't know if they're going to come out with 20 million packs or if they're going to come out with 5 million packs. You know, like either one is definitely possible. I mean, the first edition had 300,000. The beta edition had 900,000. The Untamed had 1.5 million. Um, the Dice, which was a special, you know, side pack, only had 300,000. So 5 million is like kind of in that natural range, but the game's grown very fast over the last few months, and I mean, it's knocked everybody off their feet. That's been playing this game for the last 2 or 3 years, because I think a lot of us knew this game was awesome and that eventually like people would play it, but the amount of people that have come in such a short time has made things like, you know, a little weird as far as like, and the timing was weird too, because the Untamed edition still had some packs left, but then boom, they all sold out so quick. And you know, normally the devs would have had more time for those to finish selling, but the growth of the game just went to the moon, and it still is, and so prices have really boomed. So I expect that edition to come out. You know, a lot of people are going to buy $5 packs, buy as many packs as they can for $5 when common cards are selling for $1, you know, or even more, you know, and rares, you know. I mean, the market's insane.